Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel I share my financial journey with all of you. I am fully transparent with my money, so if you're interested in seeing how I pay off debt, achieve my financial goals, and live life in my early 30s, please subscribe. I always like to give a little intro about myself. So I am an HR professional working from home for a small tech company. I just recently moved to the state of North Carolina from the state of Florida. I am completely on my own over here. I have one family member, so it's been an interesting adjustment. I've never lived fully in a new city completely on my own, basically, just because that family member is pretty far away anyways. It's not like they're 10 minutes away. And it's just been interesting over the last couple of days after my family left, after helping me move, to just continue to get adjusted with everything. So anyways, long story short, I'm excited to be able to do these videos. I honestly, if I'm completely transparent, I don't know when I'm going to be able to like edit and actually upload the videos, but I'm recording them as time goes on so that I actually don't forget the information, because that's what happens with me. So today, because I'm a little behind and I don't want to continue to have more videos to film and not be able to upload them in time, I'm just gonna actually set up and close out my paycheck number 2 budget, because we are actually in the month of April as of filming of this video. So I'm just gonna do an all-in-one video so that I can go over everything that happened. So yeah, if you want to see how my second half of March went, please keep watching. So I think I shared this in my last video, but ever since moving, my dog has become very attached to me, which is normal. She's a senior dog, and I just took her out from her usual environment with a lot of people. So she doesn't let me even be on my own in any room, really. So she's here and she's snoring. So if you hear that, I apologize, but I really can't leave her out. She's partially blind and partially deaf at this point, so it just gets very confusing for her as to why I'm not around her. So anyways, long story short, let's get right into this. So this paycheck, even though it's the second half of March, this is the one that I got on the 15th. So this is still one that I got with my Florida work location, and so no state taxes were taken out, so there's not going to be much of a change. So as you guys know, I am a salaried employee, and my salary really doesn't change month to month, except in February I noticed that my paycheck did go down a bit, and since then I've realized that that is actually like the new norm. I think this has to do with our life insurance that the company pays for. When you get the benefit after a certain amount of what they pay, you do have to be liable for those taxes. So they have started to take that out once a month, because last year they didn't do that. It was significant where people noticed that there was money missing from their account at the end of the year. So they're not doing that this year, so they're doing that split into the 12 payments. So my second paycheck is a little bit lower than typical, and that is $3,651.98. For miscellaneous, I really don't expect anything. The expected paycheck, $3,651.98. So for my fixed expenses, I don't have a ton on the second paycheck typically, so this should be quick. So my first bill for the month is my cell phone, or cell phones, and that is due on the 18th, and my full amount is $125 even. For the same day, I actually have my car insurance, and this is because I did not save enough in my like sinking funds. As you guys know, I'm terrible at it. I typically just kind of fun things as they're approaching, but I didn't do that for the car insurance since I had this move, and I know that my car insurance was going to change no matter what because I was moving, so I didn't want to prepay in full for them to not have to either need to pay or still have to pay. So we'll see when that happens. But my monthly payment was $139.56 for the state of Florida, I should say. And then my Mazda is on the 24th, and that is $298.17. My Spotify is on the 26th, and that is $19.19. Oh, and I forgot to add Max. That is on the 21st, and that is $338. And Canva. So I probably should have paused this Canva subscription because I haven't been able to do anything, like I said. So that is $14.99. I'm gonna try to kind of rethink on my thumbnails and things like that and just try to use the free version and be a little bit more creative with that so I don't have to have that membership. And I think that's pretty much it for my fixed expenses. Oh, yes. And then, actually, I forgot also my Best Buy account. So, as you guys know, I have a credit card with Best Buy. And that is for, I don't know when that is. Best Buy on the 20th. On the 20th. So, this is just such a mess. I did not prep for this paycheck as I typically do. So that is it for my fixed expenses. So total, let's go ahead and add that. So 125 plus 139, oops, 139.56 plus 298.17. 1919. I am so sorry. My dog is really snoring. I hope you guys can't hear that. 338 for Max, 14.99 for Canva, and Best Buy is 30 the minimum. So $630 with 29 cents is what my fixed expenses are. So for variables, so we have groceries, we have gas and tolls. And something I've noticed since living here is that there really aren't that many toll roads here, which is amazing. So my gas, I believe my gas budget may decrease a bit, especially because right now I'm still in setting up mode, so I'm not really leaving to explore yet. I've done a few things, but for the most part, I live in a very central location, so I have all the stores that I could need within a 5-mile radius, and the farthest thing that I have is like a Sam's Club or a Costco. Everything else I literally have around me, so I haven't been spending that much gas, even though I've been out and about and doing things. So I'm just gonna finish these sections so we can just be quick with it. So sinking funds and unbudgeted. But yeah, I am looking forward to see how much I actually spend in gas, because in Orlando I was spending like at least 120 every single month. Very rarely did I go under. So for groceries, let's do, I still have a lot that I need to continue to add to my pile of like necessities for like cooking and things. So I think I'm gonna give myself a few more dollars than I typically would, but I think that would make my monthly budget completely ridiculous now. So $250, and in my paycheck number one I did $200. So yeah, I should be spending $50, but that's not realistic. So let's do $150 at least, because again, I still need like some spices and like condiments and things like that. For gas, let's do, how much did I do here? 40. Let's do 40. I already went over budget here, so it doesn't matter. And then for fun, I have a few, like I have a birthday for that family member. So I know I have to drive pretty far for that, about an hour away. And I know we're gonna go out for a festival that's happening in Charlotte this month. And so let's just assume, let's do 200, and for sinking funds we'll just leave it at 150, and of course on budget it is 0. So my total here, okay, so for variable we have 150 for groceries, 40 for gas, 250 for sinking funds, and then 150, or 250 for fun, and then 150 for sinking. So when I take my paycheck and subtract the fixed expenses minus the variables, I still have $2,400 left over. So I think I'm actually gonna be able to pay down either my PayPal or my Best Buy. So PayPal is already accruing interest partially. So for my PayPal transactions that are already accruing interest, while others are still under that 6-month grace period that they have with no interest. So I could pay down that, which I can't remember the full amount left over in that. And then I think it's over the 2,400. So the other thing I can do is pay off my Best Buy credit card, which after this I think it has $1,840 left over, and that would fully cover this, and then I could put some money on it because the grace period for that is definitely ending in May. I don't know really, but either or could work. So, and the reason I'm saying it like it hasn't happened is because I really haven't figured out how much I've spent in the month. I'm gonna do that after I film this part and then close it out, even though it's gonna be in the same video. That's why I'm saying it like that. But let's do Best Buy. I know I typically pay 100 towards PayPal. So let's do 100 still towards PayPal, and then the remaining towards the balance left in my Best Buy credit card. So the balance for Best Buy is a $1,872.99 minus the $30 minimum payment that I did. So that is $1,842.99 that will go and pay it off completely. So total debt would be $1,942.99. So again, let's see how much money we have. So $630.29, $590, $1,842.99, and $100. That leaves me with $488. So that technically could go towards, actually I was gonna say that was gonna go to PayPal, but I know that I need to buy a few things. Not need, I want to buy a few things. So maybe that will just continue to, I'm just gonna leave that as like a buffer, because based on everything that I spent this month, which again, I really haven't calculated, I have a feeling that I went over in some areas. Okay, so yeah, so we'll leave it at that. So that means that the total spent for the month was $3,163 with 28 cents, and my rollover is $488 with 70. And I'm just gonna go ahead and calculate my variables and make sure that there were no other fixed expenses that I forgot about, and I'll be back. Okay, so I am back, and I had started to fill this out and I noticed that I wasn't recording, so thankfully it's just a few seconds in. So for my paycheck number 2, my salary didn't change as I stated, and because of my variable expenses, which I just completed my breakdown here. I don't know if I'm gonna record this, to be honest. I just wanted to like have it here for me to reference back, but as you can see, in the second half of the month, I have a lot of blue, which is my fun money. So definitely went over budget there, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, I'm 100% sure. And because I kind of want to tackle PayPal, I'm gonna move some money around. So as you guys know, I was saving for my move. I called it the NC move section in my budgets, but now that I have moved, I have fully paid pretty much everything, but I still have some money that is a surplus, which I intentionally did for my emergency fund and things like that. But I think I'm gonna just move some money around, and that way I can tackle my PayPal credit line as well. So what I'm gonna do is actually move over $2,725 from my savings. So when I do that, 3,651.98 plus 2,725. So the total is 6,376 with 98 cents. That's what I'm working with. And again, this is really from my savings. I'll just add that there. So for my fixed expenses, nothing really changed. So 125 was for my cell phones. 139.56 is what happened here. And I'm just gonna go over this real quick because we talked about it just a few minutes ago. $19.19 for Spotify, $3.38 for Max, $14.99 for Canva, and $30 for Best Buy. So that stayed the same. For groceries, I ended up spending more. So $194.74 is what I ended up spending for the second half of the month. And then for gas and tolls, I actually only filled up once. So $27.52 is what I did there. So $27.52 minus 40, that is a positive of $12.48. For my groceries, there is a negative of $44.74. And then for fun, so I ended up spending $613.35. So I went way over what I was expecting as well. To $250, that is negative $363.35. For sinking funds, that stayed the same. And unbudgeted, I actually didn't have any unbudgeted, so that's great. So my total variable expenses ended up being $613.35 plus $150, $985.61. So that's a difference of $395.61. I did, like just now, pay off my Best Buy credit card, and instead of 100, okay, so I guess I wrote 7 instead of 5. I accidentally did that wrong. So again, more whiteout. So 3,651.98 plus 2,525 transferred from my savings. That equals 6,176.98. So minus 630.29 minus 985.61 minus 1842.99. That is $2,718 with 9 cents. And instead of sending 100, I'm actually gonna pay it all in full. So 2,673 with 64 cents is my balance in my PayPal. So that will be completely in full. So 2,673.64. That gives me a actual rollover of $44.45. 1842.99 plus 2,673.64. That is 4,516 with 63 cents. Okay, so my total actually spent, so 630.29 plus 985.61 plus 1842.99 plus 2,673.64. That means I have a spent of 6,132.53 minus or plus the 44.45 should equal, yes, awesome. So this stayed the same, and this actually, I'm not gonna fill it out because it's gonna confuse me, but I obviously added more towards it. So that is my paycheck number 2 budget. I am so excited to finally be able to start paying off debt. As you guys know, for the last like 6 months or so, or probably a little bit more, since like summer of last year, I had just started aggressively saving because I wanted to make this move and I didn't know when. But now that I am settled and I have spent most of that money towards what I need, it's gonna be fun to start actually paying off debt. I cannot wait to, well, now that I am paying this off, my next consumer debt would be my car. And after that, my student loans, and I would be fully debt-free except for my home, which if I enjoy it here, there's a big possibility that I'll end up selling it unless it can be self-managed by a company or something and I can still like break even at the very least. If I don't break even, I think it's not worth it, especially with taxes and insurance increasing in Florida every single year. So yeah, I am so pleasantly surprised. Obviously did not stick to my variable expenses whatsoever, but I'm excited to get back in the groove of things and start paying off debts, which is my next goal, and start investing, which is a huge goal for the end of the year. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit messy. Actually, it was a lot messy, but that's just what happens when I don't pre-draft my paycheck breakdown. So this is what it would typically look like regular basis. If you guys like this more than like a very neatly presented breakdown, which still I always have mistakes no matter what, but I'm a little bit more prepared, let's just say. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, comment anything that comes to mind, any questions that you have, and I'll be on the lookout for those, and I will make sure to see you guys in my next video. Bye!